My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite PrizePicks entry for UFC Jacksonville. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say more or less than the number you see on the screen, and you can 10 times your money. You could even lose some and still make money. It's super flexible, super fun. Every single sport you can imagine, and you can mix and match to build your own custom entry. And then on top of that, they will give you money to play. All you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $50, they'll give you 50. If you give them 100, they'll give you 100. Take the free money, build yourself an entry, and if you win, you have even more free money. If you lose, who cares? It was their money to begin with. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks. That promo code is WWP to get your free money. Let's jump in. Every week, these lines get a little tougher and a little tougher, right? And I think it's because the PrizePicks MMA community is growing, so they're getting a little sharper at building their lines. And then on top of it, as soon as the lines come out, people jump all over them, and then they get adjusted. I'm going to show you one in a second where it has been adjusted. If you're a premium member at WeWantPicks.com, you see our PrizePicks plays the minute we place them. Sometimes that's Mondays, sometimes it's Tuesday, depending when the lines drop. Then I film these videos on Thursdays, sometimes Fridays. And by then, some of the lines have moved. Sometimes they haven't, and sometimes they've moved in more favorable directions. But premium members get instant access to our plays. And you're going to see one line here that has moved, and it is now unreasonable and unusable. But let me show you the lines that I do like and the ones that we're going to play here. If we're looking at significant strikes, what I do like here, surprisingly, where is it? Bang. Trevor Peek. I like the more on significant strikes here. The guy is a whirling dervish. Some of you aren't smart enough to know what that is. He's a tornado of assault. He comes forward, punches, kicks. Everything is 100% with intent. Everything is a significant strike, and the dude racks up significant strikes. 30.5 against Chepe Mariscal, who's going to wrestle, who's going to try to grapple, who's also going to bomb away. I think he gets over this, no problem, even if this fight ends in the first round. That's all I really like for significant strikes. The rest of these could go any direction. Cody Brundage, he might get to 70 because this fight goes a little longer, or it might be 3 because he gets knocked out or he gets a submission. And that's what's tricky about some of these. Ilia Topuria should get past 39.5. Actually, we're going to go ahead and add this. I didn't have this in the premium member, but I do think he should get past 39.5 significant strikes. If I look at his strike stats from previous fights, let's do that right now. He was 40, 20, 18, 31, 13. So his last fight was a 3-round decision with Bryce Mitchell. He got to 40. So 39.5 is actually not so appealing. We're actually going to take that off the board. But my gut reaction before looking at those stats were that he's going to come forward. He's going to throw. Josh Emmett's going to stand with him. And even if Ilia wants to initiate the grappling, he can land some strikes there. So we'll leave that out. Amanda Hebos, same thing, 57.5, kind of a high number. She should get there. Should be a striking type match with Macy Barber, but could turn into grappling. The rest of these lines I don't really like. Justin Taffa, 17 is a super low number. A super low number. Let's see how many he got against Parker Porter, because this fight could look exactly like that. Sort of early, couple wild exchanges, and then done. And he only landed 8 against Parker Porter. 5 before that against Harry Hunsucker. But in his decisions, 74, 86. So it's another tricky line. So we're going to leave the significant strikes alone. Fight time minutes. I like to look for mores. That's what I like to look for. I look for low lines, and I think they'll go higher than that. Trevor Peek, Justin Taffa. Frankly, the Justin Taffa line you could probably do under 4.5. Same with Trevor Peek. These guys are just going to come forward, at least Trevor and his opponent. Come forward, be wild. One of them is going to get finished. And then Justin Taffa, he's going to strike with a guy that's got a suspect chin. The rest of these, again, Ilia Topuria, 9.5. I think it probably goes a little longer than that, right? Like, I get it. Ilia Topuria is super dangerous, but Josh Emmett is super tough. But he was just finished in the second round of his last fight. So again, these are all very tricky lines. We're going to leave these alone. The only one that I actually would like here is Randy Brown over 10 fight minutes. Let's go ahead and add that, because Wellington Turman is tough. He's not the type of guy you're just going to put out instantly. Randy Brown, in all likelihood, needs to stay on the outside to be effective. So this may go to the third round. We'll go ahead, we'll add this, and we're going to do the flex play. So even if that misses, we'll get paid. Takedowns. This is what I mentioned. Premium members saw our plays earlier in the week, the day that they dropped, hours after they dropped. And Zhalgas Zhumagulov was at 1.5 takedowns. He has full-blown moved to 2.5. It is no longer a reasonable line. At 1.5, I liked it. And we played it, and premium members saw it, potentially tailed it. I do not like it at 2.5. He might get 3 takedowns, but it's much harder to get 3 than it is to get 2. So we're going to leave that alone. And the only other play here I like is actually more on Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's a little tricky. He doesn't always use his wrestling when he should, but he is fighting just an incredibly heavy-handed striker who also has solid jiu-jitsu. I can see Brendan Allen working in a little more wrestling than he normally would. His opponent, Bruno Silva, does get taken down. So we're going to do more than 1.5. We only need 2 takedowns for that to hit. In fantasy score, what I like to do is look for somebody that's way too juiced. Somebody who I think is going to lose, but potentially has a very high fantasy score. And, you know, I don't love any of these, right? I think Neil Magny could lose, but that's sort of a low fantasy score there. Cody Brundage, again, could lose, but I'm not going to bank on that. Ilya Topuria probably wins by finish. These lines are all super tricky, so we're going to stick with these 3. We're going to go Trevor Peek, more than 30 significant strikes. Randy Brown, more than 10 fight minutes. And Brendan Allen, more than 1.5 takedowns. We're going to do flex. We always like to do the flex. We're going to lock that in. And let me show you so you can see what premium members... First of all, this 6 entry, this was a free entry. You throw 6 at the board, you could win $125. Ignore that. Let's take a look at this pick 3. And you can see that 1.5 line for Brendan Allen and that 1.5 line for Zhalgas Zhumagulov that has moved. Guys, if you want the free money for PrizePicks, go to wewantpicks.com/PrizePicks. Use promo code WWP and they will instantly match your deposit. Use the free money. You don't even need to use the real money. Just use the free money. wewantpicks.com/PrizePicks. That promo code is WWP. If you want early access to all of these picks, become a premium member. wewantpicks.com. Just click become a member at the top.